everybody, and welcome back to another Minecraft video. And today we're going to do a behind the scenes video on the Halloween special I did. I'm basically going to show around the world a bit and explain how some of these things were done, such as the particles on the boots and that's right. Okay. And just explain how some of the commands were done, including how I made some of these custom biomes. And also, just sorry that's a little... Well, usually when I do the behind the scenes videos, it's usually a day after the video originally comes out. But this one, I haven't had an actual chance to do it because I actually finished the original video close, like about a couple hours before it was meant to come out, or a couple hours before it did come out. So I didn't have a chance to then, and this, oddly enough, isn't actually the first take of this video either. So that also would have delayed this video coming out. So let's start by looking at some of the structures nearby, such as this main area right here. As you can see, there's, well, it's mainly, most of this area is just, actually almost all this area is just pure natural generation for when it comes to water and some of these cliffs and stuff. Speaking of which, I'll give you the seed right now. There's the seed right there, so you can see. And I'll also put it up on the screen right now, somewhere around here, if you want to, if you want to quickly look at it, and it should be in the description of the video, assuming I remember to put it there. So if you want to copy and paste it, you can. But yeah, this, also here are the coordinates, by the way. It's -172 by -303. Because this isn't actually the spawn of the world. I don't actually know where it is, because I changed the spawn. But also, I have night vision, which I did not have in the video, which is why some of this area might look a little different. But anyway, so most of the area was the cliff. I just added some of this dirt stuff, the blobs of dirt, to the edge to make it look like it's overhanging, and add some rooted dirt and such. And then these pathways up here, in case, well, in the video I wanted to just needed to get up here without actually, like, the idea was I wasn't supposed to break blocks at this point of the video, and I'll come back to that later. And then here, over here is just like, this is meant to be just a burning tree stump. And here's one of the branches that fell, and then somehow it's stayed because of this boulder that's been here. There's a lot of lore to offer with this world, and I'm not exactly sure what all of this is meant to be. But here's also one of my favorite structures here. Also one of the only structures is this tower. And then I really like how this, the top, the point, the peak of the building, it just, the way it looks sort of ovally shaped. And like you can have these little pillars here, all with the dripstone. Looks nice. And yeah, this, also, fun fact, over there you can see the pumpkin. There's actually, you can see the bottom of it inside here, and how this looks. This wasn't actually meant to, that wasn't meant to be seen in the video at all, but it is actually visible from like some of the scenes when I'm standing up here. And I only noticed it while, I did notice it while recording, and I tried to hide it by like standing back here sort of, so it's not in visible range. But yeah, you can see it. I don't think it really interfered enough for me to stop recording and change it. So it's sort of like left like that. And for the rooms inside this, they're mainly just empty with no light actually. It's just a bunch of this, what is this called? Cave vines plant. And a bunch of these anvils. This was the only room that was properly furnished. I don't even think it has light in this room. But the anvils were actually included all the way up. So that's actually part of the reason. Most of that was actually cut from the video because you can't. It's not really. It's easily seen. You can't really see very well in there in the video. So I just cut it from the video, the final video. And then this is supposed to be like just a mycelium hill or mound, and it just drops far down. And you can see there's actually a lot of gradients with the rooted dirt and andesite. And if I go down far enough, you can actually see, although it's like almost pointless because you can't see it anyway. You can see there's tuff in here. I think that's cyan, terracotta, deep slate or cobble deep slate, and netherite blocks. So although you can't really see it, it is there. It's in spirit. And then here's like, this tree is interesting because this tree was actually part of the original seed, and I thought it was like cool enough that I wanted to keep it. I wasn't sure how at the time, but now you can see how I did end up doing it. And then here's just a cloud of stained glass I made. And then here are the cave vines. I think the cave vines look very, the sweetberry vines look very cool with like the jungle tree. Like I wish they had more of them like this, because that looks like, these look pretty cool, I think. And most, I just try to put on the, what are these, like the logs as much as I could, but they can't actually get supported on leaves, so I actually just put lime terracotta wherever there's like the cave vine from the leaves. It's usually a block other than lime terracotta, such as like over here, it's done like that as well, and then over there as well. I'm saying as well a lot, aren't I? And here it's not as nice because there's only one layer of leaves between the terracotta and the air around it. But it's the best I could do. Best I could do anyway without using commands. And I try to minimize like the use of. Well, I try to make it look as much as possible as this could have been built in vanilla survival. And then here's just a pig pumpkin. And here you can see how I got up in the video. And then this area I think could have been done better, but the idea is a little maze and you have to use parkour on the drift leaf here in order to get around. And I think I've memorized the route out. Yeah, it's fairly simple to do. And over here, it's like an Elder Guardian pumpkin and a Creeper pumpkin. And I tried showing this off in the video. I don't think I actually did a very good job of showing this one off, so I wanted to show this here now. He also has a dripstone hat for whatever reason. And then here you can just see this, like, a core of whatever. This is just a bunch of random blocks and, like, lines attaching to it. Not really sure what it's supposed to represent, but it's there. And as you can see, there is actually normal jungle, because I'll show you in a bit. But what I did was I set command blocks to do certain things depending on what block it originally is, and the seed originally generated this jungle here. So you can actually see I didn't go infinitely far with it, and what I did is actually I tried to stay close to the center as I could, and I also turned my render distance down, so I don't think you could see any jungle in the video, like normal jungle like that. I didn't notice any while recording or editing, so hopefully you can't, although it's not the biggest deal in the world if you could. Here's just a little maze here, and also I do have, like, right here, there's actually a key to the maze, so you know how to do it. Although I didn't actually use a key during the video, because I think I knew generally where to go. And the idea is here, you're supposed to, when you open the barrel, it actually triggers an observer, which sets these blocks to leaves. And sorry, my mouse is being a little weird. And the idea is, at this point I was in adventure mode, so I wasn't able to break the blocks to get out. And then this sparrow here is the one that actually triggers me to turn into survival mode. So when I open it, it actually sets me to survival mode. And that barrel was intended to be the final one I opened, although in reality it was like, besides that one, it was actually the first, I believe, which wasn't the situation I was attempting to create, but it's what ended up being. And the idea I needed survival mode was because I needed to create the copper golem here in the end of it. And I believe it was this block here that actually, when I placed it, the grass path underneath changed into a dirt block, triggering this line of observers, which basically does the commands that release the lightning and the things that make him talk. And then this guy, when he presses I, it actually triggers this mechanism, which goes over here and then does the talking command. And fun fact, whenever you have a copper golem, here's the copper golem. He's just a bat. So whenever you have him talking, it's actually the commander basically telling him or making him say them. That's what's happening there. Jeez, I'm not pressing any of the right buttons. But yeah, it's actually the same bat is speaking for both of them. It's so the name would get displayed in the chat. I think I showed you this pumpkin already. This is just a basic pumpkin in Minecraft. And over here, here's the starting cave. Hold on, let me grab something real quick. When I actually started the video, it was something like this, with the pressure plate here. And basically, although you can't actually notice it in the video at all, what I did is I started back here, and then I walked forward, and then, oh yeah, I had it set, so I just changed it earlier to show you the seed, but I had it. But now you can actually see the commands that are running. It basically fills the blocks, it deletes the pressure plate block, and it stops the sound playing of the pressure plate. So you can't actually hear it in the video. And then I also just, if you wondered what was over here, just over here, it just like leads to nothing, followed by a barrel with, it had all my inventory in it, and here's just a barrel with what it was. So that's how that was done. I'm trying to think what else. There's the haunted house I want to show. Here's the copper golem. I want to show the boots mechanic off. I showed you the seed. Oh, I still need to show you how the things were made. So anyway, I'm going to go into spectator. But basically what this is just a haunted house. This room I didn't have much room to play with, but the idea was it was supposed to be like a room with one staircase that goes up and down and twists all around the room. And for the amount of space I had, I think I did a decent job. I don't think I did the best job possible, but given the amount of room that I gave myself to work with, I think it was decent. I couldn't actually go very far because the edge of the hill is like right here, and I didn't want to extend the hill out just for that area. I already did. If you notice, this area is like bulged out a bit, and that's actually because that was added. This right here is meant to be a jump scare triggered by the store, and I don't think the jump scare did like a I think it could have been better in the video. Next to this section actually is one of the cuts that I had to make in the video. I actually walked up here, you looked over here, then I turned around and saw that there was no lights in there, so I actually had to go into creative, add all the soul lanterns, and then restart the clip from I think it's from around here. And I believe this is disabled currently. But yeah, the idea was you would open the thing, have a zombie come up, and then just run over here, get to around that end of the hallway, and then it just gets teleported back down here, where it's not get seen. And I do have actually a reset. Here is the reset lever, which actually re-enables this thing, including teleports the zombie to wherever it was in here originally for the commands to work. Fun fact as well, when we're talking about having to redo clips, between me walking from coming up to the copper golems over here, and when I actually push the button, there's a good maybe 5 minute gap because the commands for some reason for this button right here, the say command, weren't actually working. And it took me quite a while to figure out why. I tried different things. Turns out I broke a piece of redstone, hadn't realized. So that took me about 5 minutes to figure out that simple thing. And then I just started back with the clip there. It took like a stupid amount of time though to figure that out. There was a lot cut from the video because of reasons like that. I'm trying to think what else I've shown. Also, look at this sea pickle, how it lines up with the fence. I thought that was very cool, and when you combine it in a situation like this, I think it actually makes it look a really cool building design that I discovered while working on this map. I think it looks neat. But what this does is like it's basically it runs the command at myself and then runs the command for any block around me that is, it replaces everything with air as long as that everything is a vine. So basically it replaces every vine with an air, and it does this for like, it replaces grass block with podzol, or leaves with the tag persistent false with air. And the reason that's true is so okay then is so where is it? Leaves like these ones are actually all considered persistent true. So that way it wouldn't delete them. And then all of these areas have like different sets of rules for like the jungle. Like this one just completely, all logs were just completely erased, and like bamboo was replaced with dripstone, which when you get to what's it called, a bamboo forest, you get things like this. And then dirt was replaced with magma, which is why you get these spots of magma around. And then there's just like the plains biome just like that. And although I don't really like it like that, I made sure it wouldn't actually go there in the video. And then I also wanted this entire area to be covered with these like cracks of whatever that is. I built this one as a test, liked it, decided I want it all around here, but also decided that's way too much work for like what I'm never gonna even be able to see, because like I knew that one, if I'm like over here, you almost can never see it. It's very hard to even spot. So I decided to make one very close by that you would be sure to see in the video, and that's what that one was. What I didn't realize at the time was I was going to get this close to it in the video. And then, also, yeah, you can, I think this melon gets replaced by amethyst block, which actually adds for a nice bit of color around there. And then I think there's two other things I want to show, which is the boots and this portal thing, which I just remembered. So over here, the portal. This is supposed to add to the lore of the whatever this area used to be. But it's like, you see, this is like the I guess the core sort of thing that's powering the entire portal. And you can see it's cracked. Some of the amethyst like broken off, broken down. And then like this one piece has a crack in it, which is like, as far as I'm aware, this is actually the only example of impossible to recreate in vanilla survival, is that budding amethyst block. Everything else I think is fine. And then underwater you can just see some of the bricks and amethyst and some of the gold that just scattered around, which I think came out pretty well. Down here you can see, here's the portal thing, the fog effect, which is just, I believe it's purple and magenta. Yeah, just glass stacked. This command block isn't actually necessary, but what it does is it checks my inventory, and basically what it does, it changes my boot slot to leather boots unless I'm wearing gold boots or netherite boots. And this one's not actually necessary, although it was running in the video. And the rest of these is like, it executes if the score of my score of the scoreboard I created that I called feet particle equals 1, it at me runs the command, it basically creates a particle of light. And then this one, if I'm wearing, what is this? If I'm wearing netherite boots, it sets the scoreboard to 1. If I'm wearing leather boots, it sets it to 0. If I'm wearing gold boots, it sets it to 2. And this one does, if it is 2, it does the particle enchanted hits, which is why it looks like this. And now you can see all the messy chat messages now. And then it actually continues because I'm not wearing leather boots to reset it, and there we go. Now it's reset. And then there are areas like this that are just covered up completely. I'm trying to think. I think I got everything. Hopefully I did. I think that is everything for this video, so thank you all for watching this behind the scenes, and I'll see you in the next video, whatever that may be. Goodbye!